Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is May 2025 and things are honestly getting to be pretty crazy out here. So real estate is really picking up. My work in pharmaceuticals is really picking up, and so just I wish the days were a little bit longer. But May was a really good month. I got paid 3 times. My wife got paid 3 times. So gross income for the month for me was about $22,500. I had to pay a lot of taxes though, so I got $5,600 taken out in taxes. Put 1,200 in the 401k, $800 in the HSA. 540 for insurance this month, and my take-home pay was 14,000. My wife made 13,000 or $1,300 this month, and then 224 in taxes, and then $1,084 was her take-home. Put in another offer on one rental property, did not get that accepted, and so I'm starting to find some houses where the numbers are making a little bit more sense, but not too many. So just have the 2 rentals for now, and then no turnover with the tenants. They are all doing good. I will most likely increase rent here in the next like 6 months on both of those, though. They are, from the county's perspective, they are about $600 a month a piece under rented. So $1,200 a month I'm losing out every month just from having these under rented. So made $2,525 in rent. And then for other income, we got paid out for our invasive species work from the federal grants with the Natural Resource Conservation Service. If any of you have land, that's a phenomenal opportunity to make some money just for killing invasives on your property. So something to check out. So yeah, that was 20,000, or that was actually the 21,750 is what they paid this year. And a lot of this, though, probably 15 or 16,000 of this I paid out to contractors, and so not all of this is profit, but most of this will go off to pay house number 8. I do have a lot of real estate transactions in the works. I have 5 or 6 properties listed right now and working with 2 or 3 buyers. And so I should have quite a bit of real estate commission coming in the next couple months. And I know we have a closing on June the 2nd. And so that should be a few $1,000s there too that I see next month. Again, all that will just go off to pay house number 8. So gross income for the month, $48,000. Take home pay was $39,667. So a really good month. Just some highlights. I've made 140,000. It looks like this year I've made 1.2 million in my life. My wife has made 4,000 this year, 430,000 in her lifetime. The rentals have made 171,000 so far, and then in other income, I've made 490,000 and $35,000 this year in other income. So I think that's really going to pick up towards the end of the year as I start selling more real estate. But we will see how that goes. Jumping into net worth here. So huge, lots and lots and lots of updates this month. So as you can see, net worth went up $72,000 for the month of May. So almost to 1.8 million. I guess first change, I did update a couple of the rentals. Again, I'm trying to be very conservative with these. And so basically, I'm taking what the appraisal is on these properties and then taking 10% off of the appraised value, where realtor fees for me would probably be 2.5 to 3%. Yeah, so these are probably, house number 5 is probably like 240 or 250, and then house number 7 is probably like 220 or 230. So again, just trying to stay conservative, but I was way undervalued as of last month. So I did bump those up a little bit. The house and the land that I live on now is extremely difficult to value. It's probably one of the only houses that sit on 66 acres in our county. So I would guess between these two, it's probably somewhere like 1.4 million, 1.5 million. I have it valued at 1,186,000. So I probably am short a couple 100,000 right here, just in the house we live in. But yeah, again, I'm not too stressed about it. So vehicles, I did sell the 2013 Honda Fit and the 2018 Honda Civic. And so we traded those in for a 2025 Kia Sportage. We kind of paid cash. I mentioned last month that I had to get financing for 1 month to get a discount on the vehicle. So as soon as we got our first bill, we paid all that off. So the car was about $32,000. So I've taken a little bit off the price of that. And then we don't have any loan on it. And so, yeah, you don't see any changes below. No other changes with any of the property. Investments are going really well. I mentioned like last January, I had moved almost exclusively to money markets. And then I held money markets, which are basically risk-free at 4.5 roughly percent interest. And so in March and April, yeah, in March when things started dropping down because of tariffs, I started buying in. I bought in a lot when it was like 4,800 for the S&P 500, a little bit more when it was 5,100, and then right now we're about 50 to 60% invested. Things are heading back up very quickly, so that's why you see such huge gains in the last month. So I'm fairly happy with my strategy. So I'm still probably 40% in money markets and then probably 60% invested, most of that in the S&P 500. But yeah, from last month, we went from 651 to 673,000, so gain of $22,000 last month. So HSA is almost at 78,000. My 401k is at 314,000, and then my wife's 403b, which she's no longer contributing to, is at 281,000. So total 673,000, which we're getting super close to the investments equaling the total debt. But making minimum payments on the top three here. Again, these are all super low interest rates. Trying to get house number 8 knocked out. And if I scroll back a little bit to a couple years ago, I mean, here was June of 2023. It was at 686,000, and then now we're at 326,000. So total debt 680,000, and we saved roughly probably $12,000 this month. So we made some big payments to house number 8. So hopefully here soon we can get below 300, but no changes with cash. It's just sitting at 40,000, and then rental account is just slowly creeping up as it always does. So it's at 30,569. So total cash is just over 70,000. And then net worth for the month is 1,797,139. And our goal of having $4 million by 40 years old, which is about 9 years from now, we are almost $600,000 ahead of that goal. And so I don't think it will be this year, which we cross the $2 million mark, but it may be pretty close. We are about 5 months in, and it looks like so far we've saved 172,000 at 5 months in. So it'll be close. It'll be close. We'll see. We'll see if we can cross that mark or not. But yeah, that's really it for the month. Real estate's really picking up. So everything I make from being a real estate agent will just go towards house number 8 and getting that paid off ASAP. So yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe below. And last month's and next month's videos are on the screen now, and we will catch you in the next video.